Hey there, folks. Let's have a little bit of a chat about Alex Jones and InfoWars being banned all across social media in a coordinated attack to suppress free speech. There's a suggestion going around. It's not a theory, it's a suggestion, because all of the evidence is there. It's not something that people have been pulling out of their ass. It's that this is yet another ploy by Alex Jones and the people that he works for to get him more exposure, to make him more central to the conspiracy theorist movement, to make it so that when people think conspiracy theory, they think Alex Jones, and they think of the crazy shit that he's been doing over the years, and his absolutely outrageous version of the so-called conspiracy theorist movement. Here's a little substantiating evidence. You don't need to worry about Alex Jones, okay? Okay, look at this, folks. Right, so this goes back a year, a year's timeline, and you get little blips every now and then. I guess something happens, something newsworthy, and people think, okay, Alex Jones, let's look at Alex Jones. Okay, so Alex Jones gets booted off of social media at the beginning of August, around, say, August 5th, yeah? See, July 29th to August 4th, and then shoots up to unprecedented fucking proportions, okay? Let's say the past 5 years, okay? There's a little spike here. What happened in, it's so dodgy. Okay, so what happened in June of 2017? I'll actually have to look that up. But this spike is even twice as high as his biggest spike in the last 5 years. Guys, you've been made fools of, okay? You've become free advertisement for Alex Jones. I can't believe how many people, some of them, I trust their intelligence, well, I did up until now, are saying, oh, I'm going to share Alex Jones material all the time, I'm going to, turn the tables on this censorship. Great, just like Alex Jones has always wanted. Back in the early 2000s, he was telling people, buy my DVDs, burn them, give them to your friends. Free advertising. Is it because he wanted to spread the truth, or was it because he was building his empire? He would then, in, say, circa 2006, he would be telling people to get on social media, spend whole days putting his articles up on dig.com, stumble upon all the big social media sites of the time, and push his narrative. He wanted to be on the front page of Dig, and he was coming up with these stories that, like, oh, they're censoring me on Dig. We should be on the front page, but they're manipulating the algorithm or whatever. Okay, if that's true, then why push people to get him onto the front page? And he did appear on the front page a few times here and there. If the algorithm was tweaked against him, then he would never show up on the front page. He just wanted to milk people like myself, I did it for him. I wasted months of my life just, listening to this guy in a kind of a trance state. I was traumatized from 9/11 onwards with all the crazy shit that's been going down, and he was the loudest voice on the block, so I tuned into him, and he was putting out content very regularly and somewhat professionally. So, yeah, like a moth to flame. This time, I don't think it's any different. You can't trust this guy, folks. Oh yeah, I was searching only in the United States. Sorry. You can't trust this guy, really. He flips on a dime. You know how we talk about politicians, right? Oh, you can't trust them because they only say something because they know that the voting base they want to get votes from believe this certain thing. So, say Hillary Clinton, she believed in the sanctity of marriage between men and women, and she said so in an interview. Very conservative position to take for a Democrat, but that was, I believe, in the 90s or early 2000s. I don't care. But today, oh no, it's all gay marriage all the way, because she had to appeal to a changing demographic, and the same thing happened here in Ireland. Our half English, half Indian Prime Minister, up until a year ago, he said that he didn't believe in abortion because it was, it kills babies and it hurts women. Well, a corporation strolls into town, actually 2 corporations, gets him elected to the leader of his political party, and eventually as Prime Minister of Ireland, and he changes his mind because there's an upcoming referendum that won, by the way. It got through, all on corporate dime, and, because he wanted to keep his position, he just did an about-face and said, oh yeah, I'm pro-abortion now. Now, we find that behavior reprehensible. But a lot of people are so far up Alex Jones's asshole that we don't hold him to the same standards. And there's a lot of things this guy's done, apart from doing the about face, that we haven't held him to account collectively for. I'll get into that in another video, maybe. Or you can listen to last week's anti-broadcast. Head over to the Eclectic Vibrations Radio YouTube channel or evrn.net. Click through to the archives. He believed very, very fervently that, this terrorist attack here, this school shooting there, all a fiction to take away our liberties, to increase the national security state, to justify wars, etc., etc. But since 2015, he decided that he has to change his demographic, who he appeals to. Basically, the alt-right and, Donald Trump's voter base. 2 different things. Not totally different. They have overlap. And suddenly, all of these terrorist attacks actually are real now. Yes, all of them. Except when white children, bring guns to school and shoot each other. Yeah. Very convenient. In 1999, Y2K, December 31st, he was scaring the shit out of people with these stories, like on the hours leading up to the big changeover that would make all of the computers crash. He was saying that, among other crazy things that weren't true, that Vladimir Putin totally lost his fucking mind and was readying fucking nuclear missiles to fire at the United States. And that he's a demon. And, pointed out rightly that, this guy is like former KGB. He's, totally installed by the powers that be. A New World Order puppet. But today, he can't get Putin's balls far enough down his mouth, down his throat. This guy, for all of his career, has been saying the two-party system. It's left and right. It's just this, the wings of the same bird, hands of the same manipulator. And now he's pushing this Democrat bad, Republican good narrative. Now that Emperor Trump has rose to prominence, and he pushed Trump harder than anyone else in the alternative media. This guy cannot be trusted, and he's just duped a whole load of people all over again. Sad to see. I'm sorry, my stomach is just doing somersaults here. It's very early in the morning. I made a delicious chili, and I'm also drinking tea, so you can imagine the interactions in my stomach. Okay, guys, what's Alex Jones going to do now? Well, he is going to start his own multimedia network, and he's got all his minions beneath him that we have learned to trust just as much as we trust Alex. So he's going to become, again, known all around the world as the king of conspiracy theories. We are going to be further censored online on the social media networks. It's going to come down really fucking hard. And, it's completely possible that someday soon, the only people online that will have supposed free speech will be the InfoWars network, or whatever it would be called, and Rebel Media. And then that would be it. And what if another big event happens? Some people are saying they feel that something's coming, but people have always been saying that, but it is looking pretty grim, and things are changing in a certain way for the good in the world, and I think they might want to just throw another 9/11 style wrench in our works and get us confused all over again, traumatize us all over again. Well, if that happens, who do we have to turn to for our alternative perspective? Alex Jones and co. Will he tell us the truth? Will he be open for debate and discussion? Collective investigation? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be a thing with him. It never really has been a thing with him. He's always had his pet theories about things like 9/11, and everything that fell outside of that was wrong. That there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but if you have a monopoly on the so-called alternative media, then it is kind of a problem. Because that's what he's going to have. Even if we, in the future, have, free speech somewhere online, maybe not on Facebook, maybe not on Twitter, but on some quiet corner of the internet, Jones has been made into a household name. It's been slowly coming about this way. He's been slowly injected into popular culture, and this has been huge to get him into popular culture. Now everyone that I know who, well, not everyone, but a whole load of people that I know who have no belief whatsoever in skeptical analysis of world events are aware of who Alex Jones is, and a lot of them make fun of him because he's a fucking embarrassment. And this is the image that people are going to be fed. I mean, we only need to look at his appearances from, say, 1999 onwards in mainstream media, and the way he behaved in those appearances. He might let the host of the show or whatever make like maybe one statement, maybe half of a statement, and then he'd go on a mad rant, sounding like an asshole, sounding like insane. Some of these appearances, he had like fucking messed up hair, and he looked fucking crazy. Piers Morgan is the latest one, really. That's of note anyway. That was a few years ago. I forget the year of like the American Revolution that he was saying. What was it? 16 something will commence again, in the middle of this rant where, he was just steamrolling over Piers Morgan. I would steamroll over Piers Morgan. He has nothing substantial to say, and he's just going to twist the character of, whoever he's talking to. But Jones didn't say anything like particularly rational. And he looked crazy and sounded crazy, and people were just happy that he was up there and talking. They had a glamour spell over them. They weren't seeing the flaws. They weren't seeing it in terms of how other people, normal people, average people, saw this behavior. And he's going to continue acting like that as he goes on to represent us all. So think, folks, think before you support this fucking cretin. Now is the time, folks. Sorry. Now is the time to reassess what we're doing with the conspiracy analysis movement, I would like to call it. That's a friend's term for it. We need to build an alternative that's quasi-decentralized. We need to get together and discuss and group research and really level-headedly kind of parse out all of what's going on and build some kind of a narrative and come together and build our own media empire without the cult of personality involved, without true believers that, they have their thing, they have their little theory, and they get together in mobs and brainwash each other. That shit is just it's probably from military intelligence, is what it probably is. We need to do better than that. My vision is kind of like pre all of this Alex Jones bullshit, where we just compile research and well-written articles and decent podcasts that deal with facts and concepts and in a way that isn't just rambling on. And I just don't see that being done, really. I see it being tried. I don't see it being pulled off very well. So I'm going to give it a go myself. I'd like to invite you to Eclectic Vibration Radio's Discord server. You don't need to download anything for this. Sign up takes like a few minutes. Let's come together there. I guess the only prerequisite of joining this group is that you don't fall for this cult of personality bullshit, and you really genuinely want to find the truth behind matters. And let's actually preserve not so much our free speech, because that's going to be taken away anyway, but at least preserve the tradition of the conspiracy analysis movement. And my screen goes to sleep. Okay. Yeah, that's all I have to share. And if you're not going to join me on the Discord server, a link in the description, by the way, at least check out evrn.net. Tune in. There's always some music playing or something interesting to listen to. And I have live shows every 9 p.m. Wednesday. That's 9 p.m. Irish time, Wednesday. So I hope to see you somewhere. God bless.